What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? This is Johnny. It is Wednesday, January 7th at 10:30 a.m. 2026. If you're new to the channel, I say welcome. If you're one of the OGs, you know I got your back. I appreciate the support. Guys, we're growing. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Earlier this month, we broke 27,000 subscribers. We hit over 10 million views on YouTube. We launched our Johnny Says Boxing VIP invite only membership. It's a couple bucks a month. That is a Discord community. It is growing. That link is pinned here in the comment section. We're approaching 350 VIPs. You can either join on YouTube, it's the same price, or we have a Patreon as well if you want to support me on Patreon. However you do it, we have some VIPs who support me on both. Each one VIP membership on YouTube, the membership on Patreon gets you into our Discord. I'll show you guys that real quick. Today I released my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith. If you are a member in the Patreon, if you're a member in the Discord, you guys get first access to that as well as all my bets. More importantly, it's a community. It's not just boxing. It's American football. It's soccer. It's hockey. It's a place to have a educated chat. We're doing better and better because as we're growing, moderation is key. So we're doing better and better with weeding out some of the trolls. It's shocking to me that some guys will pay a membership just to troll people. Not a lot, probably less than 1%. But we have standards in there. And if you like an educated conversation about boxing, if you want to learn if you want to learn the sport, if you want to learn how to bet, if you want to win money, it's all in there. That link is pinned. This is what you're kind of looking at. This is live. Fresh Production is going to bankrupt. Yeah, so Money Meech is talking about the Subaru Matias fight. It's being promoted by Fresh Productions, his promotional company. And the conversation right now is how are we going to watch the Matias fight? And is DAZN going to carry the Matias fight? It's a pay-per-view fight. There are some good fights on that card. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to get into that. I just released the Stats Don't Lie video. So what I'm going to do is give you my 2 cents there on Matias versus Dalton. If you guys are tapping in right now and you haven't watched my Stats Don't Lie video, I'll give you the rundown real quick. Give me 1 second, boys. All right, so Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith. Let me play a little trailer for you. All right, so guys, if you haven't seen my Stats Don't Lie video, that's the edited, the breakdown, analysis, and prediction. I uploaded about 2 hours ago. If you've been on the live streams all week, we would have been talking about this. You would know where my money's at, but I go in depth with Subriel Matias and Dalton Smith. Some of the factors, and my money is on Subriel Matias. The odds are currently crashing. We'll get into the odds in a second. Last week, Subriel Matias was at $1.79 on my book. He's dropped to $1.65 on the money line. I'm waiting to see some punch props drop. I'm waiting to see some method of victory props drop, and we'll pull that up in a second. If you're a Dalton Smith fan, if you guys have never seen Dalton Smith, he's one of the higher ranked guys at 140 pounds globally. He's 18-0. He's 28 years old. He's coming off a decision victory over Matthew Germain, a fight in which he dominated, but in my opinion, he kind of played with his food. He knocked Germain down multiple times, but he couldn't get him out of there. It was a showcase fight. It was not really that exciting, and I used the word disinterested in my breakdown because there were moments in that fight where I felt that Dalton, was just going through the motions. And we know that that is a dangerous proposition if you do that against Subriel Matias. Dalton Smith is a technical boxer. You'd call him a boxer puncher. He got power. He doesn't mind boxing off the back foot. He'll punch with you. He has a good jab. He's technically sound, good feet, athletic. It's just, to me, there's something about his style when I watch his tape. Really hasn't fought the best. That's not his problem. All a fighter could do is beat who they put in front of him. If you look at his resume, his best win, Jose Zepeda. Zepeda was on his way out, so I don't even count that win as a good win. This is by far Dalton Smith's biggest step up. This is what he's fought his entire career for. 28 years old, 18-0. 74% career knockout to win ratio. Doesn't really have one punch power. It's going to be really interesting for me to see how they look at the weigh-in. It's going to be really interesting for me to see what the weight cut was like for both of them. Listed, Smith is a little bit taller. They said he's a little bit longer. We'll see. We're going to see when they face off during the weigh-in. I'm not sold on Dalton Smith, if you couldn't tell. I don't think he's the product that people are selling him. The Brits think they have one, though. The Brits think that this is the guy. They call him Thunder for a reason. We know Arturo Gotti's nickname was Thunder. They say that this is the second coming in the UK. They compare him to Arturo. I don't see it. We'll see. He better bring his A game against Subriel Matias. He's coming over to the States. He is the B-side. It's Subriel Matias' promotional company. There's a lot of these things when you guys think about where you're putting your money, you have to think about the politics side of the game. Subriel Matias, 140-pound world champion, 96% career knockout to win ratio. With Subriel Matias comes the aura of who he is. We know about the Maxim Dadashev fight. I always tell people, when you talk about Subriel, you have to mention Dadashev. You have to mention that fight. Rest in peace to Maxim, the 11th round stoppage. Dadashev was put in an induced coma, and he never regained consciousness, and he passed away. That builds the aura of Subriel, and this was a guy that, was the boogeyman. Nobody wanted to fight him. Liam Perro puts his hand up, goes to Puerto Rico, and beats him. Kept him at range. Liam showed his boxing acumen. Liam showed his world-class skills of being able to keep a guy like Subriel, who's a front foot guy, a pressure guy, at range. Dalton's going to have to do that, but Dalton doesn't really fight like Liam Perro. Dalton doesn't fight like Alberto Puello. I think Dalton Smith, if he catches himself against the ropes, which he tends to do a lot, he doesn't want to have a false sense of security with Matias. All in all, Matias isn't a one-punch knockout guy. He's an accumulative guy, and I talk about this all the time. He sometimes could lure his opponents into a false sense of security, mid to late rounds, all those thudding punches, and then all of a sudden you find yourself as his opponent being a little bit sluggish, a little bit damaged, and you're not moving as much, and Subriel is still there turning on. You ask me, what is Subriel's style? How would you describe him in one word? I always say stressful, front foot style. He really doesn't care too much for defense in the pocket. If you're going to find a hole in his game, it's going to be him in the pocket, throwing those stiff hooks, keeping his chin right there. But this is what he does. He throws a lot of weird angle body shots. He's always going to be there. And we're going to see how good of an athlete Dalton Smith is. I think Dalton's going to stand and trade with him early on. It's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be an exciting fight. My biggest question, my money is on Subriel Matias. My biggest question is, how are we going to watch it? Did DAZN already say that are they going to be streaming it? I'm not quite sure. Right now, I have money line Subriel Matias at $1.65. I'm going to wait until the odds open up a bit with the method of victory. This is probably going to be a 24-hour bet for me. I want to see the weigh-ins. I want to see how they look. I want to see how, rough the cut was for both guys. And then, a popular prop bet is going to be Subriel Matias, most punches thrown. A popular prop bet for me would be the over. A popular prop bet would be a late stoppage by Subriel. That's just kind of how I see it. 10 minutes into the video, I'm going to say what's up to the boys. As you're checking in, give me a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, join the Discord. Let's see what's crack-a-lacking. We're going to bring the odds up. We could talk about all the other fights. We got Ajit Caballero versus Kaniba coming up. The undercard on Matias and Smith is actually really good. So there's a lot of fights to talk about. Punch stats have dropped. Yeah, Ali hit me up in our Patreon. I saw you message me on Patreon. I pulled him up. I'll show you. Bet365 still only has method of victory and money line. So let's have a look real quick. And so Ali, he brought up a good point the other day. I think that's a good prop, most punches thrown. And ask and thou shalt receive. We got a smart chat. We got an educated group here. So they did drop. Shout out to Ali. Appreciate you, brother. I mean, how many punches does Subriel throw against Puello? So Puello, I wish I need to get new software. I need to get some software to where I could do two screens so you guys could see multiple screens. But in I'm only using his last fight. What have you done for me lately, right? Alberto Puello, his fight style, long southpaw, uses the entire ring, frustrated Subaru a bit. This isn't how Dalton fights. So total punches, Subaru Matias threw 786. He landed 255. So these are punches landed. He lands 206. He lands 255 on Puello. So 250 plus just if against Dalton is 2-1. What are you guys seeing with your punch? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I have a lot of experience betting punch props. I usually don't do it. I'm doing it because Ali hit me up on our Patreon. He's a Patreon member, and I'm always open to new sort of strategies. You still waiting for the UK money to come through? It should happen around Thursday, Friday. That's right, sent from Pet, 100%. And it's still early days. It's Wednesday morning here. It's Tuesday in America. We're just getting started. We're just getting our whistles. We're wetting our whistles. I think Matias versus Smith could look like Conor Walker versus Pat McCormick. Whew. I hope it looks like Matias versus. I hope it's exciting. I would love to see how much Matias improved since playoff performance. And if he did, it's over for Smith. If I could bet money on the towel being thrown, I could see that. I mean, if your money is leaning towards Subriel, you know your path to victory. You know what I'm saying? If your money's on Subriel, you know your path to victory. It's that. I could definitely see a late stoppage on the ropes. Matias is getting knocked out in New York. Ricardo Velez saying that Dalton's coming in with that knockout boy, that strap. He's leaving. He's going to the UK. He's gonna be like, UK, we up, baby. We up, and we still good. Look at the boys. Matias is getting stopped. There you go. Samuel Wright. We got some insiders saying Matias is getting stopped. He already lost in PR, so this would make it number 2 as New York is PR number 2. He lost against Liam in PR. He also won 20 fights in Puerto Rico. Do we have a live dog? I mean, people are saying Dalton's live. Dalton's a live dog. I'm not taking him, though. Of course, yeah. If you're looking for a live dog this week, boys, Dalton Smith for sure. New York, ain't the city of dreams, and everything in New York ain't always what it seems. You might get oohed if you come from out of town, but I'm down by law, and I'm from the dog pound, the incredible, the lyrical. To see me, it's gonna take a miracle. Let's see. This is just a different book. This is Sports Bet's book. I just want to see what the difference is. Okay. Here are the current odds for Matias Smith. This is Sports Bet in Australia. 100 gets you $64 on Matias. So Dalton's about a plus 140. I think there's going to be that Brit money, like I think Sent from Pet said. It's only Wednesday morning here. Come Friday night, Saturday afternoon in Australia, I think those odds are going to, people are going to be betting Dalton, I assume. So if you're betting Subaru, wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait up until weigh-ins, to be honest with you. I don't really care. I don't really care too much of a. I don't see a big swing. I actually see if I'm betting Subriel. So I think the longer we wait, if you're Subriel Matias gamblers here, I think the longer you wait, the better for your pocketbook. I could see the average boxing fan, not casual, but the average boxing punter will see this and be like, oh shit, Dalton at plus 140. Let's go. Worth the sprinkle. And as more of those sprinkles come in, we're gonna get Subriel at better money. None of these Ah, Teofimo about to get beat up, boy. What are you talking about? Gas, you did. I call Bomba live, my brother. I think this goes the distance. You did call. Good call on Bomba. I got, yeah. Good, dude, he fought great. Talk about a career. What's the word I'm looking for Jonathan Gonzalez? Resuscitation. Talk about resuscitating your career, Jonathan Gonzalez. Bomba. And talk about going. You know what? I don't remember a fighter for me who has moved to my no bet list quicker than Yankee Rivera. Yankee Rivera just got placed specifically in my no bet list. With Albert Gaziev is in my no bet list. Probably Galal Yafai, even though Frankie Rod was pissed hot. Galal Yafai took a beating. So much damage Yafai took. I do like the over. Yeah, that's what the Matias fans, the popular bets are going to be Matias on the money line, the over. I think the most dangerous. I could see Dalton getting stopped. There's not a lot of tape when I'm watching Dalton Smith that tells me world class. Like I think for the holes that Subriel has in his game, the pros, the things he does really well are world class. Thus, world champion. And he got his belt back, two-time world champion. I was one of those guys. I'll admit, I didn't think that once he lost his belt to Pero, I didn't think he'd be able to get it back. I thought that was it. It was a bit of a novelty. He's kind of like the knockout to win, but we close that book early 30s and we move on. But no, he destroys Goyas, and then he gets another title fight against Puello. And disregard how you scored it. I scored it for Puello. He got his belt back. I didn't think he'd be able to do that. That pressure forward volume style, that accumulative power, the conditioning, the endurance, the range that he likes to fight at. Dalton Smith only wins this fight if he's able to do what Liam Paro did and use his timing and speed and to keep Subriel at range, to keep him at that mid-range. If Dalton can't keep Subriel at that mid-range, Subriel has multiple paths to victory. Dalton, in my opinion, when we're thinking about where we're putting our money, he's limited. And there's nothing in his film study that I saw that is like this dude's world class. I don't think Dalton Smith is world class. I would put Subaru in there with anybody at 140. That's all I'm saying. That's a hill I'll die on, actually. I don't think Dalton Smith is this apex athlete predator people were selling him as. Most punches thrown, Caballero. But yeah, Javier Herrera's fighting. Herrera is a fun guy if you've never seen him fight. Matias versus Smith is going to be for Tyson versus Spinks. Yeah, no Matias. I love that. He did that. He put that up on his Instagram. You might get booed if you come from out of town, but I'm down by lawn. I'm from the dog pound, the incredible, the lyrical. Where's that video at? I can't see which one. He talks about it. Now I wanted to play this clip, but I don't want to get flagged. They put that music now in the background of these videos, and every time I upload a live or break down and edit one of these videos, I get demonetized. No. Sent from Pet. Are you Phoenix? There's no way. How'd you find that out? Sent from Pet. Are you Phoenix, man? Boxing whiz. I think Matias should throw more punches, catches. That's it, man. Dalton isn't any better than Puello. We're expecting. I'm not expecting that, dude. I'm a fan of, dude. Alberto Puello is a dog, dude. Alberto Puello is a freaking scalp to have on your resume. Even if I think he lost, I had Puello win in the 11th and 12th. From a pure boxing perspective, if you're a coach, if you like the sweet science, if you like technique and timing and range and distance and setups and feints and using your feet, Alberto Puello is a boxer, dude. Does Dalton Smith stop better than Puello? Hell no. I don't think Dalton is world class. I think Alberto Puello is world class. We up. Still good. Dalton isn't a high output fighter and he gets caught a lot by jabs. This might turn into a slow counter boxing versus high output pressure fighting. Stylistically, this could. That's what I'm seeing too, Ali. I'm thinking. I said this in a small phrase in my Stats Online breakdown. I said in this sentiment, I said I'm interested to see how these styles clash, and that's what I was alluding to. It's New York. The judges will be on his side, like in the UK. It's also Subriel Matias's promotional company. He's also the A side. He's also the champion. It's also going to be a dominant Puerto Rican crowd in Brooklyn. In steps Jay. I'm taking the under in both Javier and Ajit fights when the round prop appears later this week. Yeah, when you get those boys, just do because we all live around the world, right? Sometimes you guys get odds. You get odds before I get odds. Whenever you get odds, put them in the Discord, please. Disagree on the line, Johnny. Every respected boxing analyst besides Gary is on Subriel. Disagree on the line, Johnny. Every respected boxing analyst besides Gary. So Gary is taking Dalton. The best line will be now. Subriel will be. You think so? I don't think so. I disagree on that. I feel that due to online gambling and everybody having a phone in their hand, I think now, especially in the last year, just statistically, what I've seen with lines moving, I think people are going to see Dalton Smith and a lot of money's going to come in on him. Not sure, like, I think big enough money to change the odds. I'd be shocked if Subriel is minus 220. That's crazy. That would be a crazy shift. I disagree. Yankee Rivera super no bet list. Yeah, I'm gonna create a plaque back there. Maybe or create a card that you can see no bet list to remind everybody. I don't know how he even gets them belts. Have the performance lost me hella money. 70 Han. Good hit on the Han fight. Money Meach. Matias definitely should be 2-1. 160 is the best price I'm seeing now. It's moving. Earlier, just 2 days ago, it was 179. Is it bad to say losing to Liam was a fluke? I don't think it's bad. I think if they fought again, Subaru would make adjustments. I do. I think that this I did not expect Subaru Matias to have it in him to add levels to his game. He added levels from Paro to Puello. In terms of movement and patience, not so twitchy in terms of rushing everything. There was a time where I thought Super Matias was even his feet looked better. He was showing different looks with his feet and his angles that we never really had to see because he would just be this He would fight flat-footed, pressure you, put you up against the ropes, and bully you. He actually has turned out to be a better boxer than I gave him credit for. And I've lost 2 bets in a row on him. I picked him to beat Liam. Liam won. I picked Puyo to beat him, and he won. So I don't have a good betting ratio on Subriel Matias fights, especially over the last 2 fights. Dalton Smith's father not wanting his son to literally die or get brain damage. New York City judges, fresh productions, first time in New York, hangs around the ropes, couldn't stop a journeyman. This is what I'm talking about. Sent for bet. Virtual cheers, right? Virtual cheers. And these are all the things that you got to take in consideration. Matias was at a minus 135 when I put him in my pot. I told you, yeah. I got him. Guys, I got Matias at even money. Just so you know. I'll show you the Discord. Just so you know, when that out, just so you know. So this is our Discord, boys. If you're not in there, get your ass in there. Guys, if you haven't re-upped your membership, do it for me, please. Just a couple bucks a month. The link is pinned. It's a pro betting community, guys. All right, so we got I'm just pulling up where I got Subriel at the odds because I put him on a parlay early days. We have a long parlay that's still live from a month ago. Eaton. Is that it? No. I guess I got him at. I was mixing him up with Zarafa. So yeah, I got Subriel at $1.77. So this is the long parlay. It only plays plus 16, plus 616. We put this in 3-4 weeks ago. Obviously, big favorites. These are the fun ones. These are for the boys. Junto, Inoue, Ioka, Amanda, Caballel, Subriel, Zarafa, Moses, Cruz. So it was $1.77. What's he now? He's down to $1.64 now. Down to $1.64. So those odds are crashing. Maybe Nick's right. Maybe they're gonna go all the way to the basement. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they don't. Smith's gonna see there's levels to this. He is British level. I think he is British level too. Have you looked in the goal? Yeah, Raul Curiel versus Rocha. I can't wait for that fight. Gas saying Matias was absolutely remarkable. Dalton's only hope is to use angles, pivots, L steps to survive pressure from Matias. I don't believe he has the footwork. I don't think he has the footwork. I'm not impressed with him. There's not a lot of tape that I'm like, oh shit, this is the guy. Boxing Booth was crack-a-lacking. What's up, Johnny, Nikita, Zarafa? I got my money on Zarafa. Look, nothing. I'm probably a bigger fan of Nikita. Because I like Nikita's he's a unique cat, right? But the lifelong boxer in me, it's really hard for me to bet against a kid who's so green as a Nikita with literally no game plan, no strategy, gets on his front foot, no head movement, doesn't slip, doesn't feint, throws the jab to throw the backhand. If Michael Zarafa can't figure that out, then I don't know shit about boxing. Now, people are going to say that, like, all Nikita has to do is touch Zarafa and Zarafa's chinny. I disagree with that. Nikita just hasn't, he's leveled up slightly, but this is a guy who went life and death not too long ago with Ben Horn. Like, Nikita, this should be Tim Tszew's fight. We should be talking about Michael Zarafa versus Tim Tszyu, not Michael Zarafa versus Nikita. Nikita is coming off of an injury, long layoffs, inactivity, green, only been boxing for a handful of years. Doesn't, really isn't a well-rounded guy. A lot, very, very, very one-dimensional. Michael Zarafa, mate, 196, man. Bet the house. Haven't seen Dalton under any. Nope. Back foot players. No, but I got a lot of picks from him. We both from Sweden. Matias lost to Inyan, and you guys. He lost to Inyan 6 years ago, and then he knocked him out. We might have to silence Ricardo. We might have to silence. No, I'm kidding, Ricardo. You're my boy. We start silencing fools. I'm gonna silence. Here we go. There we go. I knew it was coming, bro. Y'all cats are wild. I do. He'll be larger. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at him, Nick, you might be onto something. You think it's just gonna crash? Shit. All right, then put your money in now, players. Put your money in now. It is a nice parlay stick. So Nick, you're saying you go Ajit plus money. So let's see. Subriel money line. You guys are just throwing Kaniba away. Nobody's giving Kaniba a chance. Oh, the ghosts. Get out of here. Yankee Rivera. Yuck. Caballo by knockout. Caballero. You're a plus money, plus 116. Yo, plus money pays the bills, boys. I always say, whatever you have in your account, whatever you've won, if it could pay a bill, cash that shit out. Nice. It is. Plus 116. Let's go. Dalton Smith and Josh Kelly will become Brit champion, hype job monster slayers. I'm 50-50 with you on that. I have Josh Kelly beating Murtazaev. I've been saying that for 3 months. I've been campaigning for Josh to get the Murtazaev fight for a while, though. I love that style matchup for Josh Kelly. People are sleeping on Kelly, dude. I love Kelly at plus money against Murtazaev. I don't think Murtazaev is the boogeyman at all. But I think Matias walks Dalton. I don't think Dalton. I think Dalton's club level, domestic level. If Matias looks like skeleton like he did, there you go. I said this in my breakdown, Julius, in my Stats Don't Lie video. I said that I need to watch the weigh-ins. We know Subriel carries a lot of weight. That's why I was kind of shocked to see that Dalton was listed as bigger than him. All right, guys. Could we please stop talking about Callum Simpson? No offense to you, Sent from Pet, but in the Discord, guys who are fixated on the Callum Simpson Troy Williamson fight. It was a domestic level Brit fight. Hopefully, none of you guys bet the mortgage on that fight. But to see so many people, well, a few of you boys, continuously bringing up Callum Smith, I'm tired of his name. Why are we still talking about Callum Smith? 45 people watching only. Yeah, because Cass is lazy, man. Cass don't be liking my shit. You better like my shit, ho. Guys, listen to Frankie B, Frankie Blue Eyes. New York! Wherever you are in the world, welcome. We are a growing boxing community, guys. Johnny Says Boxing in the Discord, our Patreon, and on YouTube. We just broke 27,000 subs. We broke 10 million views. This is what we do. We have conversations, educated conversations about boxing, every fight, not just the mainstream big fights, but every fight. And we don't have to agree. We have a educated conversation. Ajit will knock you from skill. He's a bad man, low key. Guys, were you put your hand up? Were you guys on Ajit Kabiel before Riyadh? Am I late to the party? Because I really didn't know much about him until he started getting on those Riyadh season cards. Is there hype around Ajit Kabiel, or is it like legit? I mean, he's already, what, 32, 33 years old? We're talking about Anthony Joshua retiring at 36, and you think about that long-ass career. AJ, is Kabiel just a diamond in the rough? Did it take a while? I got to do more research on him. I only heard of him a few years ago, but people are acting like he's like that dude. And then people are throwing Kaneba away. Kaneba's a 6'7", 6'8", big dude too. Is it just, a foregone conclusion that Kaneba's going to get starched? Shakur wins that. I think so. Shakur is easy money against Teo. Liam. See, if none of you guys have friends who are jiu-jitsu guys, this is what I jiu-jitsu guys have their own sense of humor. I don't want to call it gallows humor. Guys are waiting to get hung. But from my buddies that I grew up in boxing gyms to like growing up playing American football, baseball, basketball, my friends that I've grappled with, Nick's a grappler. He's belted in jiu-jitsu. Their humor it's just different. You hang out with jiu-jitsu cats, their humor, it's hard to pinpoint. It makes me laugh. Liam, clinch and minimize Pero. Or you guys always say, maybe it's a UFC thing. But I always know when I'm talking to one of my boys who's a jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah, ammo is very basic. Ammo is very basic. Very brave. Shot up a lot of heart. Adamas is a nightmare. Ammo's big though. Didn't Adamas start his career at 40? Or am I tripping? 47. Ammo's a big, but Ammo's no. But, you know what? Maybe I'm tripping. That fight's going to be at what, 60? I think Ammo could probably make 54. Adamas, Ammo has a lot of holes in his game. I don't even think they're even near the same level. Carlos Adamas versus Austin. No, I'm never. Michael Zarafa. Let me clarify. Zarafa versus Nikita Tszyu, half unit. half unit. I should clarify. Half unit. Let's go, Armand. We out here eating. Hope you put money on Dalton. Yeah, Nikita's super fun. Like, Nikita's game plan is going to be smother Zarafa, crowd him from the opening bell, and bully him. If Michael Zarafa doesn't have... If Zarafa's fought at the world level. He's a lifelong boxer. This dude has he has skills. We've seen him get touched before, though. We'll see the durability. Nikita, I mean, he's a fun dog bet. But you guys are asking me who do I think is going to win. You know what? I might flip-flop that shit. I might flip-flop it. Even though I have a long parlay with Zarafa. We got a week until that happens. I don't think Subriel is overrated by the people in the know. The real ones know he's flawed, but he has a very specific, effective style, and it's stressful. It's not like, oh, he has a great jab. He can win the fight with his jab. Or, oh, he uses the entire ring and his shell is really good. Or, he, that reach advantage will help keep his opponents. No. When your specific style is built around pressure and accumulative thudding power with volume, and you're pretty much weaponizing your output, dude, that is a freak. And you've had opponents who've passed away before. Like, there's a lot. That shit is an example. Like, Subriel's a stressful guy to plan for. If Dalton gets to plus 150 or better, I might pick him, man. Still haven't heard one compelling argument as to why he'll win. I don't think he has a path to victory, but then again, his path to victory would be keep Subriel at mid-range, counterbox him. Um, his fighting him at mid-range. He's gonna have to use his timing though. How good is Dalton Smith's timing? Subriel Matias' timing is really good, man. Yeah, Nick ain't a parlay guy. Nick's like, Johnny, flush some goddamn parlays down the toilet, ho. Now I feel Ricardo's just troll. Now I think I like Ricardo because he's a contrarian, but like because I don't get to see him or hear his voice, I don't know if he's really trolling. But these comments, but Kaniba, I mean, that's why I'm asking. Nobody's giving Kaniba a chance. Subriel, Cruz, Shakur, Correa. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, mate. I have all those on a ticket. Kaniba's chance in first 5 rounds, he could box, but defense is leaky. So everybody here is sold. Is Caballel next in line? Is he that dude? I need to watch more on him. What does a Jit Caballel struggle with? What are his flaws? Somebody want to come on real quick? I'll give you the link. Educate us, because we're in school right now. It's not just me. So like, I need to watch more Ajit Caballel tape because I'm seeing people are just thinking that this guy is this dude. Dude, Manny Flores versus Jorge Chavez is again. Dude, Manny Flores lost us money. Even though it was a draw, I thought we got gifted a draw. This community wavy. What's that mean? Is that a compliment? Bro beat Chisora in 17. I've been betting on him. I don't get to see a lot of them. Sanchez fight. I'm just catching up. Give me a second. Kaniba gonna be pissing dark red blood. All right. I'll listen. Julius. If Julius is peeping on that, I'm gonna follow that. I'm gonna do my tape and break it down, all that. $100%. And you know what, Armin? He weaponizes that as well. It's not like Matias. It's not like, you know how Zepeda weaponizes his cardio? Zepeda gets, a lot of his knockouts are similar fashion, but it's almost just like against lower level competition. Matias could punch. And he has that style. I like late. I like Matias on the money line. The safest bet, don't bet. For all you guys getting into gambling, the safest bet, don't bet. There are no guarantees in this bitch. This is gambling. Don't call it investing. We ain't investing. This ain't fucking putting money on fucking Apple. This is ghetto ass gambling out here. We in the hood. All right. So it ain't knowing it's gambling. So the safest bet is don't bet. In my opinion, if you're a Matias fan, the second safest bet is the money line bet. And then the bets I like are the over, whatever over you're getting, over 8.5, and then a late stoppage. But then if Ali is still in the chat, if I were you, Lloyd, look at punch props. I've never bet on punch props, but when you look at Subriel's style, his output, how he operates, he landed 254 punches against Puello, a guy who moves around and pretty much was on the run, had to chase him down, cut the ring off, and still landed 250. Dalton doesn't fight that way. Now, if you're doing punch prop maths, and you're like, all right, Dalton doesn't move as much as Puello. If he landed 255 against Puello, he should be able to land at least that against Dalton. But you are running the risk if you take that because it is at plus 200. you're running the risk of Dalton getting stopped. And then if it gets stopped, there are no punches, and then you lose. So these are things. This is why it's gambling. That agent dude isn't anything special. Heavyweight fights can end really quickly. All right, now we're getting some discourse because Breaking Bad thinks agent is that guy. But now we get, we're getting some discourse. Ricardo's, climbing back into that conversation with some facts, and Sent from Pet is co-signing. And this is what I'm talking about. Who the hell said Nikita's better than Zoo? What are you talking about? James Drummond. If you are out here kicking it with dudes saying Nikita's better than Tim, you got to start hanging out with us. Because hell no. This is what I've been telling everybody. Nikita, he's only been boxing a handful of years. Super green, super flawed, one-dimensional, no plan B, doesn't have timing, doesn't set anything up, doesn't have feints, doesn't really, he's just a dude who wants to knock you out. He wants you to stand in front of him so he can land his backhand. He got some athleticism to him, and I don't want to, and I'm a fan of him. But this should be Mike Zarafa, Mick versus Tim. This shouldn't be Zarafa versus Nikita. It's the wrong Zoo. So I think it's easy money as well. Chris, I got a jit on the knockout. Guys, wherever you're tuning in, we're floating between 50 and 70. Could you like this video, please? Could you subscribe? Get into our growing Discord community. We're about 350 Johnny Says Boxing Insiders. You could sign up here on YouTube or join our Patreon. Whichever way you come in, Patreon or YouTube, you get into the Discord. It's not just boxing either. Zhang dropped him, that's it. Kaniba don't got that Zhang power. Not many people have that Zhang power. Adam's brother's manager for the Polish fighter. Adam's brother. Long parlays, Jan. Shakur, Adamas, Keyshawn, Azim, and Shushu. I like it. I like it. Some good fights coming. We got some good fights coming, boys. Let's get this money, boys. Thank you, Armin. Wavy is a compliment. Nice. We got it. Wave. You don't know about Shushu. I'm a fan with Shushu. I like Shushu all day, too. I'm a fan of Bruce Carrington, man. I think he's that dude. I still think he's waiting for that, the performance. We talk about it all the time. Guys who are, Carrington has a lot of skills, a lot of tools in that bag. Sometimes it just takes confidence to allow all those tools to come out. People were questioning Richardson Hitchens before the George fight. Called that one. Sometimes it just Tiger Johnson versus Nick Flaz. We called that one. Like it just, I think I put Shushu Carrington's potential in the same category, and I predict he's going to have the performance that he needs than when we predicted Tiger and the performance Tiger had against Nick, and then also the performance Richardson had against George. I think it's only a matter of time for Carrington to have that performance. He already ticks all the other boxes, and I think it's coming. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Carrington, and he always wins me money. I forgot Xander's fighting. Big fan of Xander. Xander, dude. And it's so young, too. Anybody who needs to know, man, watch what he did to Chino and watch what Chino did to Conwell. It was, dude, boxing is so fickle. One loss could just send you all the way back to the line. Charles Conwell was that guy. Charles Conwell's killed a guy in the ring before. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Patrick Day. Patrick Day, man, was a legit fighter, dude. Conwell was a 3-1 favorite against Chino, and Chino handled him. I was shocked. And then, I knew Xander was going to be tested against Chino. I didn't think Xander would be able to handle him as easy. Xander handled Chino really easily. I don't think you better watch Xander while you can at 154 because that is a big ass dude. He's young too, 22 years old. Big old 22-year-old Puerto Rican, still got a lot of growing to do. We could possibly see Xander when he's 30 We might see Xander at 68. We'll see. He's a big dude, man. I'm a big fan of Xander Zayas. He probably only has 1 or 2 fights at 54. And then, 60 is wide open. 160 is wide open. 2 division world champion. Well, the jump from 60 to 68 with his frame, I think Xander's only 5'11". I have to see how he fills out from 54 to 60. He might be really big at 60. I think we're looking at least. I think we're looking at a future 3 division world champion with Xander Zayas. I'm a fan. I'm glad you brought him up. I agree, Chris. I said this in my breakdown. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Arturo, but they don't fight the same. They have nothing in common except the nickname. Oh shit! A Bass Burrell upset of the month. I might flip a Burrell's most skilled boxers in. Julie's out here throwing curveballs. Kirsten, what's up? Yeah, I agree. Knockout weight. It's hard, it's really hard for me to get past. I mean, we've watched Nikita grow up in the ring. I've been in Sydney, Australia since 2013. I think Nikita turned over in 19, maybe 20. And Tim turned in 16. So I think Nikita probably 2020. Like he's just not a if Nikita's last name wasn't Zoo, we cheer for him. I cheer for him. I'm a fan of him. I don't think he's on any boxing comparable level to Michael Zarafa. And so I definitely think this should be Tim Tszyu versus Zarafa, not Nikita. Heavyweight division, the script can change all too quickly. Ajit been buzzed bad and dropped in 2 separate fights. No bulletproof. Finally, somebody comes and speaks a little bit of. I don't want to give away all the answers. Sometimes I have to play dumb. I'm just shocked with how many people are in the Discord acting like Ajit is just like invincible. I want to hear the other side. I don't think he is. I agree. I've been high on Tiger since jump, boys. I was just waiting for Tiger to move from 40 to 47. Dude, how we've known people in the know, especially us Ohio boys or just American boxing fans, we've known the skill set Tiger has had. His length, his jab, his speed, his time. The thing that gets overlooked so much by the boxing fandom, the average boxing fan, even guys who you might watch every fight, but and this is no shade on anybody, but unless you've boxed before and have had to control another grown man's timing, you've had to control this other man who is trying to knock your head off, and you've had to control his timing with your movements and your jab and your positioning and your timing. It's really hard to explain the importance and the significance of a boxer either having great timing or poor timing. And this is where you see, for me, why I feel women's boxing is hard to watch, because they're new. You can't just learn timing. It's a long progressed thing. You get it from hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of sparring. And Tiger has great timing. And it's exactly what, that Walken and Nick Flaz didn't. And we won a lot of money on that fight. Same thing with Hitchens and George. And that's why I've always been high on Tiger, because of that. Everybody loves the power, the knockouts. Everybody loves, what guys look like at the weigh-ins, the optics, how they talk, etc. But when you strip all that shit away, I take timing over. I would take timing over anything. I put timing at the top of everything. I know some guys say that. Some guys say power. Some guys say speed kills, which it does. But if you could have speed, you could have power, you could have all that. But if you're timing shit and you're going against a guy who's good at all the other things, but his timing's world class, you're going to lose. What are you talking about, dude? Bam fights at 115 pounds, man. Shushu's 126 pounds. Probably going to see him go up at 30 to 30. Bam versus Shushu. I mean, I'd watch it, but I love Bam, but we gotta pump the Bam's one of my favorite fighters. You guys know that. Probably some of you guys have seen breakdowns of specific fighters in the past over the last 2 years, and you've joined my channel because you've seen, my revelry or how I talk about fighters. You're not gonna come here because you expect Johnny to talk shit about fighters. That's not what we do here, right? But I do think we need to pump the brakes a bit in saying that Bam, who's a 115 guy, could go all the way up to like I need to see him at 18 first. Maybe I'm the conservative one. I need to see him at 18 first. I need to see him at 22 first. We're talking about going to 26, 11 pounds. He's not a big dude. I think Carrington, I think he'd have his hands full with Shushu. Bam is way too small. Yeah, agree. Rohan is too nice. We've seen Rohan Polanco. That's a good fight. I'm not going to comment. Shout out to Coach Bermudez, who's in our chat. Coach Bermudez is Rohan's coach. He's in our Discord. He's in our chat. We just saw Coach Bermudez just came over to Australia. He was cornering Tim Tszew's last opponent, Anthony Gonzalez. Drop that link. Kaniba is lacking. What link are we talking about? Clifton? What's up, Clifton? Leaning. I'm not leaning towards Kaniba. What I'm doing, Chris, is I do this every week. I do this with all the fights. I use our collective intelligence of our group, us. And if I'm too like I'm really heavy on Kaniba or I'm really heavy on Ajit. So if I'm really heavy, I want to make sure I'm not blinding myself. So I'm looking for it, playing the devil's advocate. I'm looking for the perspective on how Kaniba could win. No, I'm high on, I'm definitely high on Ajit. I'm just kind of wondering because I have a couple people in my ear saying that Kaniba is going to be dangerous early. Like he's not just going in there to be a rollover. What is he, a plus 1,000? Come on, guys. Last person Kaniba beat was 28-14-4, went 7 rounds with him. The most others got him out in 5. Spence's damaged goods. I like Tiger's boxing style. Guys, you're my boys. Virtual hug. I'll see you.